Okay. How is it already the end of the year? There is a ton of manga coming out in 2024. A lot of things that I'm looking forward to. So we're going to go over them here in today's video. But there's a twist. I hate waiting, and because of that, everything that we're going to be going over here today in the video is coming out in the first half of 2024, which gives you guys plenty of time to read up on the series, start saving up, or even watch the anime to see if you'd be interested to begin with. Let me know down below if there's a manga, light novel series, or a webtoon that you're most excited for in 2024 in the comment section. Starting in January, Drifters is getting an omnibus put out by Dark Horse. They're going to be 3-in-1s. This is coming out very early January, and it will be paperback, so no hardcover here. Now, you may not have heard of Drifters, but the same author did Hellsing, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of, and a lot of you probably even own those wonderful, I believe they're deluxe editions. The red covers, you know what I'm talking about. I had never heard of Drifters before making this video, but the premise sort of hooked me, so I definitely will be looking into this one. It's sort of a fresh take on an isekai where we have our main character who dies on a battlefield but gets sent after his death into another world where there's a bunch of other warriors. Now the twist here is our main character, who was once a samurai, is now in this new world, and there's a bunch of warriors surrounding him, but they're all from various time periods in history. That's pretty cool. Now the plot does unfold into the trope that these characters are going to have to come together, these warriors are going to have to come together to overthrow an evil empire and save the world. Art looks gorgeous. The series initially came out in 2009, which feels like forever ago. What else can I say here? I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out for it. However, the full sticker price will be, I think, $30, like $29.99. So this is something I probably will not be picking up day one, but perhaps a sale down the road. Continuing on in January, we have Steel of the Celestial Shadows. This is put out by Viz, and it will be full sticker price at $14.99. And of course, you'll be able to find these on sale or cheaper on various other websites. This applies for everything here in the video. This is a newer series starting in just 2020, so it's a pandemic series. I honestly must say, this one sounds right up my alley, and I love a good samurai story with science fiction and fantasy elements. However, I am noticing I am getting a little more picky as time progresses, and I've just been collecting manga more and more. Honestly, really hope that this ends up being good. So here's the premise. This story follows a 19th century samurai who is basically struggling, having a pretty bad time, and on top of everything, he is cursed so that really any metal that gets near him is instantly repelled away or simply just distorts in shape, which, as you can imagine, probably makes life as a samurai pretty dang hard, if not just impossible. So at the 11th hour, he is about to take his own life, but of course he is saved by a mysterious, beautiful woman who introduces him to a whole new world of magic and a path that he could really never, ever dream of. This sounds so up my alley, a samurai story with fantasy elements and sci-fi elements. Yes, sign me up, at least on paper. Pun intended. Now, continuing in January, we have Tokyo These Days. This will be put out by Viz and will be $28 at full sticker price. Tokyo These Days is the new work by Taiyo Matsumoto. I'm not gonna lie, the premise sounds amazing, right up my alley. This is something I'm really gonna be keeping an eye out for right when it comes out, to give it a good proper read. The story basically goes over the relationships between a manga editor, who is the main character, and manga creators, and well, the simple life in a busy city, or not so simple life in a busy city in Tokyo, in Japan. This sounds awesome, especially because at the time of recording this video, I was just in Japan for a whole month. The story starts off with our main character's final day, his final day of employment as an editor. He stops in at a bookstore to deal with some cranky old mangaka who refuses to work with anyone else. In that moment is where our story sort of just kicks off. Shiozawa is flooded with memories of a life filled with working with creators and just life in Tokyo and the bonds between creators, their editors, and just the atmosphere of the city. To have a mangaka like Taiyo Matsumoto put out a piece of work like this, you bet your bottom dollar I'm going to be checking this one out, and I hope you guys do too. However, I will be the first one to admit, almost $30 at full sticker price. That could be a big bullet for a lot of us to bite. So maybe even myself, I'll be waiting for a sale sometime down the road, but I will definitely be picking this one up, whether it be immediately or down the road in 2024. Moving on into February, The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten. Yen Press is publishing the light novel series that's been out for a minute, but Square Enix is going to be handling the manga. Once again, this comes out in February and it will be $12.99 full sticker price. Here's the premise. Our main character lives alone in a messy apartment. Okay, it hits a little close to home. Of course, there is going to be a girl next door who is considered an angel, who is the smartest, prettiest girl at school. Of course, they're going to meet. Of course, a relationship is going to spark between the two of them, starting off as friends and potentially moving into something more. I forget the anime that this reminds me of. It's about a shut-in guy. It's not Welcome to the NHK, is it? No, I don't know. Once again, this is the angel next door, and let's quickly move on. Still in February, we have My Name is Shingo, the Perfect Editions. Once again, this is put out by Viz and will run you around $35 at full sticker price. My Name is Shingo is brought to you by the same author that did The Drifting Classroom. So this 80s series, yes, this came out in 82, okay? So it's even older than me, which is saying something, is getting a Perfect Edition release, which is honestly great. Horror manga as a genre is booming. I think it's incredibly popular right now. In fact, let me know down below if you read horror manga and like that genre. The backdrop for this story follows an industrial robot named Monroe. Now, Monroe is working in a factory. However, when the main character and his friend begin to work with this robot, the further down the rabbit hole they go. Monroe seems to be awakening, however, not in like the good, sweet, quiet way. It's more like the crazy, violent, this is crazy happening with robot, artificial intelligence sort of thing going on, which is kind of relevant to what's happening today. Long story short, this series is probably going to be a trip, and it's going to be cool how this 80s take on a horror robot series will look, especially in 2024. Okay, the time has come. We've arrived in March. And finally, we are getting the omnibus release for Initial D. I think a lot of you probably guessed that I was going to go over the Initial D release. I love this series, but I don't like how expensive it is if you want to collect it physically. And I don't think we even got a full run of the physical release. Initial D was originally put out by Tokyo Pop. However, these new 2-in-1s coming out in March will be put out by Kodansha. A lot of you that have been following the channel for a while know just how excited I am for this. And I want to tell just a quick little story how I found out about the reprints, because I was at Anime Expo when this all dropped. I was wandering around whatever hall I was in. It was probably Artist Alley, and my phone kept going off. And I mean, like, you guys were, some of you were emailing me, Twitter notifications, Instagram DMs, Discord pings, you name it. And that's honestly just speaks volumes to how awesome the community is here. But everyone was letting me know, because I've been hunting for the singles of Initial D for such a long time with very little luck, just because it's innately expensive and rare, out of print. You know the deal. And I got sent the same tweet over and over and over again, and the hype was through the roof. I think I just was staring at my phone for God knows how long at the convention, and I just can't describe how surreal it was to be just in the chaos at Anime Expo to find out one of your favorite series is getting a reprint. I can't tell you how many times I've watched the anime, and I could have read Initial D digitally. I think Kodansha has it digitally. I could have bought all the volumes, but I haven't because I wanted to read this physically. But no, now I'll be able to read Initial D physically, slowly, at least starting in 2024 in March. What can I say about Initial D? I think it's the driving series we all know and love, and a lot of us probably grew up watching it. It's a certified classic for a reason. The Tofu Shop, the Fujiwara Tofu Shop. 2024 really seems like a strong year for reprints, and I love this trend of getting more reprints of series, older series, or prints that we would never even thought would happen in the first place, like March Comes In Like a Lion. That was crazy, but I think the initial response, pun intended, of Initial D, I think that we're going to see a lot of people picking up the Omnis from Kodansha at the beginning of the year. Fun fact, one of the best parts about the anime is the soundtrack. Okay, we get that. I bought it at Book Off a long time ago, and I still have it in my car to this day. It's phenomenal driving music. Moving on into April, and we have yet another reprint that is getting a deluxe edition. Trigun. This is going to be put out by Dark Horse, coming in at a hefty $50 at full sticker price. According to Dark Horse, these will be 2-in-1 editions, and boy will they be nice for the price, with foil stamping and a bookmark ribbon so you can save your place very conveniently while you're reading it. I think it's also going to be like faux leather. I also have a feeling this is going to be on so many shelves. I personally will be buying this. I don't know if I will be buying it day one like I will be Initial D, but definitely when there's a sale, I'll be the first one in line to get this. Let's have a moment of honesty. I've never read Trigun. Okay, I've watched the series, at least a good part of the series. I don't know if I've ever actually finished Trigun, but I've never read it. So this is going to be the time, like me and many others, we're going to be getting into the manga for the first time. And I've heard that there are some pretty cool differences between the anime and the manga. Something else to be aware of, this is an older series from 95 to 97, which is really dating me right now. It's so funny how in a year of a bunch of new series coming out, manga is just at an all-time high in popularity, that 2 reprints of 2 classic series are making so much waves in the community. I think this is a wonderful trend and I hope to see more in the future. GTO when? Okay, lads, it is Christmas and I know a lot of us are going to be traveling or at least browsing more at home. Whether you're connecting to the airport Wi-Fi, doing work at a cafe, browsing from home, or like myself wanting to read Tokyo Ghoul in Tokyo, it's better to be safe and secure. And that's where NordVPN comes in. Now, when using NordVPN, you shield your internet traffic from your service provider. So the lads over at Spectrum can't see the utter degeneracy that's happening at your house when you're staying up late reading Rent a Girlfriend. Again. Protect your online identity on all of your devices with the fastest VPN on the planet and get yourself situated at nordvpn.com/BoogieSnacks. With NordVPN's deal right now, if you select the 2-year plan, you will get 4 months for free. My favorite feature by far is being able to change my location to get more access to the content that I pay for, like me using the Viz app in Japan to read manga on my phone. All I had to do was select the United States and boom, it was like I was there and I had access to everything that I normally did. Once again, get 4 months free with NordVPN's 2-year plan by going to nordvpn.com/BoogieSnacks. Links will be down in the description. Continuing in April, we have My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999. Do you guys remember when the anime came out for this and just how popular it was online? I bought into the hype and I don't regret it. It was a very lovable watch. Let's get into the details. Okay, put out by Inklore and will be full sticker price at $12.99. Modern day romance anime/manga now. A pro gamer and a casual gamer get entangled through a series of events, and honestly, this was the trope I didn't think that I would want more of, but I totally do. The story sort of kicks off at a gaming convention where our main character is getting over her ex, but bumps into him and claims that this random dude that she's with is her new boyfriend. Need I say more? They actually start hanging out through a series of events. It's something blossoms from that. It is a love story, but it's just done so well. And I'm going to give it points for having a little bit older MCs. I believe they're still in college or even older. April is definitely a busy month because we have That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. The manga is getting an omnibus. They're going to be $22.99. They're going to be a 1 of 3 Omni, and they're going to be put out by Kodansha. I didn't expect to love this series, but the anime blew me away. I'm okay with light novels, so the manga doesn't really concern me, but I know it's a very popular series, and I think there's a ton of manga readers for That Time I Got Reincarnated by a Slime, and the Omnis might be a great way to hit a whole new audience to collect this series efficiently. Okay, Boogie, but what's it about? Middle-aged salaryman dies and gets reincarnated as a lowly little slime, but is kind of really overpowered in a whole new world and immediately is met with the predicament of bumping into this extremely powerful dragon, but don't worry, they end up becoming very good friends. I think the reason why this series has done so well is that it's a combination of a super down-to-earth main character and a really cool transformation that happens later on in the series. Amazing world building, and the author does a great job at keeping me invested in seeing this slime just keep winning, whether it be in politics, gaining new powers, or building out the town. And it's also filled with a phenomenal cast of supporting characters. At least go check out the anime for That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. And if you're interested, the manga is getting a 3-in-1 in 2024. Love is in the air in April because A Sign of Affection is getting an omnibus release. Correct me if I'm wrong, there isn't even a ton of chapters out. I think it's under 50 for A Sign of Affection, and that just goes to show you how popular the series is. This just blew me away. I didn't expect A Sign of Affection out of all of the series to get an omnibus. This is going to be a somewhat frustrating at times love story that will definitely tug on your heartstrings. Our main character is an adorable deaf young woman in college. The love interest is a cool, well-traveled main character, and they bump into each other on campus. Of course, there is a friend group. There's going to be drama. There's going to be heartaches. It's going to be one of those series. What I've found with A Sign of Affection is a lot of people either love it or they just really aren't in it. But what I will say, at least for me, the most important thing about this series is that kept me reading. It kept me invested. Whether it be good or bad, it kept me invested. A Sign of Affection, the omnibuses are going to be 3-in-1s put out by code DANCHA, and they will be $22.99, so $23 at release. Okay, so if you've been watching my videos for a while, you would know at the end of the year, I always do a collab video, and this year I finally get to do a collab with Gavin, who has slowly turned into a good friend of mine on the platform, and I think you guys will love his stuff. So without further ado, here are some more titles that are coming out in 2024 with Gavin.
Hello. I'm Gavin from the channel Gavin Reads It All. Essentially, I will read anything and everything from fantasy to romance to science fiction to contemporary, absolutely anything and everything I will cover. And even though I'm still quite new to manga, I don't think there's anything that I wouldn't read. There are quite a few new series that are starting in 2024 that I'm very excited about. God Bless the Mistaken by Neo Nakatani is also coming out on January 23rd by Yen Press. This one is in a genre that I'm quickly becoming obsessed with, and that is slice of life. And the reason for that is Boogie.
This one is about bugs.
And I don't personally like bugs, but this series makes me want to actually like them. This one follows Khan, who is the unofficial assistant to his landlady, and his landlady happens to be a leading researcher in the field of bugs. You would think it's a series about bugs, how interesting can it be, but each different kind of bug species that they come across in each chapter brings about new challenges, and it sounds pretty incredible. The medium of manga always makes mundane kind of concepts like bugs and turns them into something incredible. So that's why I expect from God Bless the Mistaken. In the Name of the Mermaid Princess is coming out on February 6th by Viz Media. The story is by Yoshino Fumikawa, and the art is by Miya Toshiro. And Princess Mio is betrothed to a prince that she has never met before. He also doesn't know her secret in that she is a mermaid. Mio doesn't really fully accept herself either, so when she actually goes out into the world to meet her subjects, she begins the journey to self-acceptance. Mio tells her father, the king, that she wants to live openly as mermaid, but he doesn't want her to. Sounds like there's going to be a lot of themes and parallels to the real world in this one that I personally would love to see. And who doesn't love mermaids? Okay, the next one has a bit of a wordy title, and I absolutely love manga with wordy titles. Reincarnated into a game as the hero's friend, Running the Kingdom Behind the Scenes, Volume 1. The story is by Yuki Suzuki and the art is by Ranpei Ishio. It's due to come out on February 20th by 7 Seas Entertainment, and we've all wanted to be transported into a video game, right? But we kind of see ourselves as the main character at least. But our main character, he's just an everyday man. He gets transported into a game, but as an NPC. He isn't actually even a hero in the game. He's just a background character that's probably going to die during any kind of siege. So this sets off our protagonist in a quest to end up finding the hero, meeting the hero, and doing something a bit more worthwhile as a character in a video game. Glendale Volume 1 by Masaki Ninomiya is due to be published on March 12th by Ablaze. So we follow Officer Dago, who goes to this charming mountain village where the previous officer had disappeared. Everything seems fine at first until he gets a call that a local grandmother has been found dead. When Officer Dago inspects the body, he discovers bite marks, and this starts off a series of mysteries that unravel within this really creepy town. I imagine the name of this, Cannibal, is a mix of granny and cannibal.
So maybe this has some granny cannibals? I don't know.
One can hope. I absolutely cannot do a list like this without some kind of One Piece mention, and I am so excited for the first volume of the Ace Story manga, which is being adapted from the light novels, which I love. I love the light novels so much. This is getting published by Viz Media on March 12th and will be illustrated by Boichi. The Ace Story manga will delve into the origin story of one of my personal favorite One Piece characters, Ace. It goes through how he found his devil fruit, how he formed the Spade Pirates, his meeting with Whitebeard, and everything that we have been dying to know from One Piece. Any kind of story set within the One Piece world is going to be incredible. And finally for me, Once Upon a Witch's Death, The Tale of the 1000 Tears Volume 1 is coming out on April 16th by Yen Press. This one is written by Sokka, and it follows a 17-year-old girl on her birthday finding out that she only has 1 year left to live. Meg is the student of Faust and is told that the only way to escape this death curse is to gather the tears of joy and plant a seed of life. With this ticking time clock over Meg's head, I believe this will be such an incredible journey to follow, which will probably be so bittersweet but also so uplifting at the same time. And plus, I love anything to do with witches. Thank you so much for having me, Boogie, and I hope that 2024 is the best year of manga yet.
Now for a quick lightning round with Steph.
Hey there, my name is Steph. I post manga reviews and recommendations over on my TikTok, but today we're going to be talking about a few titles I'm looking forward to releasing in the next year. The first title we're talking about comes out January 2nd, and it is by 7 Seas. It's A Cat from Our World and the Forgotten Witch. This is a sweet tale starring a gigantic cat who's summoned to a fantasy world by a lonely elderly witch, And who doesn't love a good story about a cat? The next title is one of my favorite webtoons. I'm so happy we're finally getting some physicals of this. It comes out January 23rd and it is by Eyes Press. We have See You in My 19th Life. Banjeom is a girl who has been repeating her life through reincarnation for nearly 1,000 years and can remember all her past lives. After her 18th life is cut short due to a tragic accident, she decides to reconnect with a man from her previous life in her 19th one. Then we have Since I Could Die Tomorrow. It is by Tokyo Pop and this releases February 6th. It is about a 42-year-old woman, Sawako Hona, who is single and works hard at a film production company. One night, all of a sudden, her heart palpitates and her body goes cold. Next, we have Punch Drunk Love. We're getting physicals of this. It comes out February 13th and it is by 7 Seas. Seon Woo knows he's painfully average in every way, but he can't help pining for the hot new manager at his work. Next title we have is Whoever Steals This Book. This comes out February 20th by Yen Press. One day a collection of books is stolen and a mysterious message is left behind. Whoever steals this book shall be pursued by the flag of magical realism. This one sounds really interesting. I'm looking forward to reading this. And then from the mangaka of Horimiya, we have Ako and Bunny. This comes out February 20th from Yen Press, and it says, when amateur novelist Bambi moves into a new cheap place, he's shocked to find out it's already occupied by the ghost of a high school girl. This one sounds super interesting, and it's by the mangaka of Horimiya, so I'm looking forward to this title. Of course, I couldn't forget to mention something Resident Evil. We have Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, the beginning of the graphic novel. Comes out March 12th by Tokyo Pop, and the events of this story happens before the 2021 animated series, Infinite Darkness. We have Leon Kennedy getting called to investigate alongside Pittsburgh Police Department a bomb that kills a guard at the Carnegie Museum of Art. I'm definitely looking forward to some more Resident Evil graphic novels.
So yeah.
The next one is a sequel to one of our favorite titles. If you love Kimi ni Todoke, you definitely got to pick this up. This title comes out April 2nd from Viz. It is Kimi ni Todoke From Me to You, Soulmate. The story of Kimi ni Todoke continues in the sequel starring Sawako and her former rival Kurumi while they're in college. I'll see you all around. Now go read some books.
This video feels like a proper way to end the year off. We've done a lot of adventuring. I'm very proud of that. And we've also done a lot of reading and a lot of manga shopping. And next year will be filled with even more. And with that being said, I have to get to editing this video. I will see you guys in the next one. All right, bye.